Let's go live to Chicago for the latest on her funeral as we meet Jason Knowles. Relatives and friends all gathered to say goodbye to Dawn Brancheau today. She died last Wednesday. What can you tell us about the service, Jason?
Well, good evening, Larry. Yes, I was at the service. I got there really early in the morning because I do the morning live shots. And we were there all morning long, and it started at 11 a.m. There were hundreds of people there, family and friends. We're all there at the service. And, you know, the family really wanted this to be a very private moment, so the family did not speak. But we were able to talk to a lot of family friends that were walking into the service. And I know that you had mentioned earlier that there is this issue whether whales should be kept in captivity or if they should be in these shows. And surprisingly, you know, a lot of the people there were saying that they believe that these whale shows should go on, that this is what Dawn Brancheau would have wanted. And it even reflects, too, on this pamphlet, or the program here, the funeral program you can see for Dawn Brancheau. It says, "A beautiful life came to an end. She died as she lived, everyone's friend." So everybody that at least I talked to at the funeral today was really passionate about that issue, Larry.
Jason, you're with WLS-TV. Why Chicago?
Well, Brancheau is from Northwest Indiana, which is in our viewing area. Her family has a lot of ties to the southwest side of Chicago, and a lot of them have union ties and labor ties. And her father, who we were told had passed, had labor ties, and her brother is a big labor leader in the city southwest side. So that's where the funeral was, but she's from Northwest Indiana. And I actually also got to go to her high school in Northwest Indiana, a Catholic high school, where, you know, they basically rolled out the red carpet. And even though she's 40 years old and she had graduated about 22 years ago, surprisingly, dozens of people knew her at the high school. We talked to a lot of teachers who remembered her. This is a woman who they say shined, she sparkled, she had quite a personality. And I actually got to look through a lot of her yearbooks and see all of the pictures. And she was a homecoming queen, president of the student council. She did everything.
Thanks. Jason Knowles, reporter, WLS-TV. There is word there'll be a memorial service for Dawn in Orlando at a later date. Joining us now in Miami is J.D. Ordonez, friend and protege of Dawn Brancheau. He got to know Dawn about a decade ago when he started at SeaWorld Orlando as a photographer. He has worked as a dolphin and whale trainer at SeaWorld and at one of my old familiar haunts, the Miami Seaquarium. How do you best remember Dawn, J.D.?
Inspirational, to say the least. You know, I started working at SeaWorld in Orlando when I was 15 years old, and she watched me graduate from high school, graduate from college, and become a whale and dolphin trainer at SeaWorld and both also the Miami Seaquarium.
Her sister said that being an animal trainer was her dream job. Why did she like it so, love it so much?
Well, I can tell you from my perspective, and also, you know, she felt the same way, was I think it's amazing to be able to have that bond with these animals and to be able to, you know, to take care of these animals in that relationship as well, and to be able to be inspirational and to share that with kids.
Now, you've worked with beluga whales and dolphins. Do you ever worry about the risk?
No, I have not. I've never once have ever been placed in an unsafe situation. You know, I've worked and have been an employee at several marine life parks across the country, and we are trained and safety protocols are followed to ensure the safety of all trainers and our animals entrusted in our care.
And there may be some aspiring animal trainers looking in, feel a little shattered, as obviously they should by this. What would you say to someone who's thinking about doing this for a living?
Ever since I was 5 years old, I wanted to be an animal trainer at SeaWorld, and it was trainers like Dawn and other trainers at SeaWorld as well that gave me inspiration to become an animal trainer. And I just have to say, even though she's not with us today, if she was with here, you know, I got to know Dawn not just within the park, but outside of the park. If she was with us right now, I could say that, you know, she would want her legacy to be remembered, not the tragedy of what happened.